What causes oil consumption? Can you control it? And what do you do about it? Oil consumption is caused by three things, and we'll get into the thick of it right here in the AMSOIL Garage.
This video is brought to you by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics. Visit AMSOIL.com for more information.
Hey everyone, I'm Greg Jones for Engine Builder, and today we're discussing what causes oil consumption in your diesel engine. Obviously, no one wants their vehicle to consume oil. However, some of that is out of your control. One reason for oil consumption is due to the clearances built into your engine. Anywhere that there's a seal that's supposed to hold oil back, all those areas have clearances and they will all seep oil beyond them by design. That is not something that anyone who buys a truck can change or affect. Those manufacturing tolerances are the nature of the engine. The other source of oil consumption is your PCV system. This system is there to collect vapors that volatilize and evaporate away. This system sticks it back into the intake and burns them. If a PCV system is not working, there's a valve in there that only allows so much pressure to be built. Too much pressure can push oil past the valve and past the ring and liner, and that will force oil consumption. Unlike the clearances in an engine, a diesel owner can have an effect on the PCV system. So make sure the PCV system is checked according to the timeline in your owner's manual. Another possibility causing oil consumption is your oil itself. If you're running a 10W30 in your diesel and it's burning a bunch of oil, try going to a 40 weight. That 40 weight oil will slow down some of that consumption because it's thicker and it won't flow as much through those clearances in the engine. In a lot of older engines, guys will even run 50 weight oils because it slows the oil consumption down. Now you might be wondering if a 50 weight oil will hurt an engine that's designed for a 40 weight, or if running a 40 weight oil in an engine that's designed to run a 30 weight will hurt it. The answer is no. It's okay, and it can be used to slow down your oil consumption if you have a lot. One other aspect of oil you can pay attention to is Noak. Noak is the measurement of evaporation rate of oil in an engine, and it's measured by percentage. If my oil has a Noak of 6%, that's a low number. Another brand might have a Noak of 11%. That's 5% more of that volume that could be evaporating off and going through your PCV system to finally get burned. The lower the number, the better. However, it takes a savvy consumer to take these Noak percentages into account. Fortunately, if you use AMSOIL, the brand designs its oils to minimize oil consumption. Finally, you might be wondering what the damaging effects of oil consumption might be. We now know what we can do to help control it, but what happens when your engine burns oil is that oil goes out the tailpipe and it will plug your DPF. There are naturally occurring metals in oil which are there for protection of your engine. However, those metals don't burn, so they get stuck in the honeycomb structure of the DPF, which is designed to capture lots of subparticles that when you elevate the temperature, you'll finish combusting them and they'll go out the pipe. But again, those metals in oil don't burn, so they work their way into that honeycomb structure and then eventually plug it off. Now, how long that takes depends on how much oil consumption the engine has and how much you're using the engine. It could be 100,000 miles or it could be 250,000 miles, but it's very unique to the engine and the oil that you're using and the conditions that you're putting it in. One important thing to note is that unfortunately, if your DPF does get plugged, there's no solution for cleaning that metal out. So make sure you're using an oil that is appropriate for your engine and use, and regularly check your PCV system based on OEM recommendations. I'm Greg Jones for Engine Builder, and thanks for joining me in the AMSOIL Garage.